date night. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Alicia Harrison. This is my amazing husband.
Johannes Harrison, CEO of MoneyScript Wealth Management.
We're so excited to be here with you today, and we're excited about our topic today. Today we're going to be going over organizing your finances.
Organization.
And I wanted to share a quote with you guys. So from Benjamin Franklin, he says, "For every minute spent organizing, an hour is earned." Could you imagine gaining an hour of your day? What could you do with that hour? You could spend more time with your kids. You could relax. You could scroll on Pinterest. You can find other things to do.
That's why you
with
spend so
that
much time
hour. You could go work out.
You could work out.
You could work out. There's so many other things you could do. Just imagine gaining that time just by allowing yourself to be more organized. So we're really excited to kick off tonight's topic about organizing your finances. Did you want to share about what we talked about last month?
I do. So organization is a key part of maintaining a budget because when it comes to budgeting, you need to know where your money is and what's going on with your money. So this session that we're going to go through today with organization is really going to support what we went through on our last time we were together, our last Monday date when we discussed budgeting. So let's get ready to get our life organized.
Yeah. So if you missed Budgeting 101, make sure you go to our page on YouTube, themoneyscript.com, so you can catch up on the budget, and then you'll have a better understanding of why we're getting our finances organized.
So is this like, what's that new show where the woman comes and cleans your house? Is that what we're gonna do?
No, tidy up. Tidy.
What's it called?
Something like, no.
No, it's not that.
No, not exactly.
Oh, okay.
But to a certain extent, we are. We're about to get organized. Okay. We're about to get clear on what it is we need to be focused on, and we're about to revisit our budget. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing we want to do when it comes to organizing is that we want to purge our piles. So most of us have piles of bills, mail stacked around the house. Maybe you have it in this corner, that corner, your purse. We want to get organized. So the first thing that you want to do when purging those piles is to separate the stacks by the senders. So you want to separate them so you know exactly who they came from, especially if you have multiple bills or statements from those senders. Next, you want to organize those from recent or from oldest to most recent. So you can organize your stack and be able to clearly see from oldest to most recent. Next, you want to separate those documents. So you want to be able to separate them from your statements, from your important documents, and then your junk. Lastly, we want to purge. So we're going to purge what we don't need. We're going to shred the junk mail, shred the old statements. You want to make sure you keep your most recent statements. You want to store your recent statements in a safe place. You want to keep important documents like your marriage license.
Yeah.
Your, excuse me?
Oh, I was just wanting to let you know you want to store our marriage license in a safe place.
Yeah, I got a few copies because maybe I learned a lesson and misplaced it. Yeah, I put it.
Okay.
I don't know.
I wasn't gonna tell you all about
That's
it.
why we have to get organized. But you kind of put me in in the hot seat, and so I figured I would just keep it real.
I appreciate you keeping it real.
Right, I'm learning. Right,
yeah.
We learn. So you want to make sure that you store those in a safe place, so that you have those documents. If you are going through the process of buying a home, of course, you want to make sure you have at least 2 years of your most recent statements. And if anything, you can also make sure if you have online access, you can also use those as well, so you don't have to keep as many statements with you, so not as much paper.
So when we talk about buying a home in 2 years of the most recent statements, what most lenders are going to ask for are your recent bank statements and 2 years worth of things like W-2s. So W-2s and 1099s, your earning statements, those are important documents. You want to hold on to those and have some sort of system in place where you can file those away throughout the year so you can be organized and prepared for tax season, which a lot of people are doing right now.
It's coming up.
It's tax season. Actually, it's always tax season,
yeah.
depending. It's always a great time to get organized for your taxes. So those important documents like marriage certificates, like W-2s, 1099s, and other earning statements, you want to have a way that you can store those away safely for at least the last couple of years. And there's some evidence out there that you should keep some of those documents a little bit longer, like tax returns. But if you're like us and you don't want to have a bunch of clutter, you can get an inexpensive scanner for maybe $99, $150 at Office Depot, Best Buy, where have you, Amazon, and then you can scan some of the information in so you don't have to keep all of that paper. So one of the things you mentioned was going paperless. When you go paperless, I mean, do you get the statement sent to your email, or do you just go
Yeah,
to
so
the
if you
website?
sign up for paperless, you're not going to get any paper, right? Great, less clutter. So you're going to get an email notification that your statement is available on your online account, and then you just go into your online account, log in, click on your statements, or you might have a message where they've sent you your most recent statement. So they make it very accessible for you once you do sign up for those paperless statements.
You know, in a lot of companies, when you go to register to look at your money online, they'll allow you, if it's your first time, you can register right then and there. Typically, you need a few pieces of information, so as you organize your files, you'll have that statement so you can pull it out and get your account number and things of that nature so that you can access that. I find a lot of times I'll sit down with clients and they'll forget that they had an old 401k. I know someone that forgot that she had an old 401k when I met her. See, you can think about it.
I was saving it.
You were saving it. Okay. You were. That's a good answer. Cheers to that. You were saving it. That was cute. Happy Money Day. So I find a lot of times clients will have accounts or old 401ks or old bank accounts that they just simply forgot about. And sometimes these accounts can have fees associated with them, and if you forget about them for too long, the fees can eat away at the accounts. Guilty. I've done it. Sometimes people forget that they have credit card accounts, and then maybe a annual fee or something like that bills to the credit card. They never open the statement. Then they end up with a late fee and more late fees. It goes to collections. Next thing you know, you've ruined your credit just because you forgot that you used to have that Best Buy card that you signed up a long time ago. Not picking on Best Buy. It happened to me. Anywho, I closed the card. I don't have the card anymore. But I got it when I was like 19. I was excited. Anywho, neither here nor there. There's over $40 billion of unclaimed property at different state websites. You can actually check your name right now if you went to unclaimed property and probably / the name of your state, or just Google unclaimed property and put in your state, and you can find money that might be due to you. I actually helped a client, I don't know if you remember this, but we helped a client find over $200,000 of unclaimed property, and a lot of it was money that was left from her mother when she passed away. So that's another place where her mother didn't have a lot of financial organization, so when she passed, really didn't know where the money was and wound up going unclaimed. So doing this organization can help make sure that you know where all of your money is. And like we said earlier, it really goes back to helping you maintain that budget and staying on top of what your financial goals are.
Love it. So first we're purging our files.
Purge it.
Right? And then we're going to look into going paperless so that you can reduce the clutter, reduce all of that trash, junk mail, all of that.
Speaking of purging, should we take those old statements and just chunk them in the trash?
No, so we definitely want to make sure that we shred our old files, so our old documents, statements, all of that. So you can purchase an inexpensive shredder, or maybe you have access to a shredder at work or wherever you're at, but you want to make sure you shred those documents so that you're not putting yourself at risk for identity theft or anything like that.
It's one of the fastest growing crimes in the world. So you really want to make sure you're not exposing yourself to additional identity theft by throwing away credit card offers and your old statements or things that may have your social security number and other identifying information on it. Just like you wouldn't want to leave your wallet or purse just open in a public place. You wouldn't want to just throw your mail away without disposing of it properly.
Well, what I find the easiest way to reduce clutter is that when I do open the mail, I immediately get rid of the envelope. I get rid of the returning envelope for making the payments, whatever, because I know I don't need them. I pay everything online. So I'm keeping my statement, making sure that I have all the information I need. I keep that for as long as I need it until the next statement comes in, shred it, move on.
Or sign up for e-documents and never have to open that statement again, at least not the paper version of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Another way to help you reduce clutter is to opt out of pre-screened credit card offers. And that will reduce the amount of letters that you're getting saying that you've been approved for whatever it may be, anything from consolidation loans to credit cards, etc. Now, if you want to go out and get a credit card or something like that, there's always a resource you can go to online, like NerdWallet or creditcard.com, to see what kind of offers are out there. So you don't necessarily need to rely on getting those pre-screened offers in the mail. You can also stop from getting the other mail, like coupons. If you're not someone that uses coupons, you can stop those from coming to your house. There's a few ways that you can do that. One of them is dmachoice.dma.org. There's also if you send an email to listcontactmanager@moneymailer.com, And however the mail comes to your house. So if it says just your initials and your last name, or maybe it's got your name mixed up, whatever. If you put whatever it has on that mail to that moneymailer.com, they will remove your name from their list as well. There's also a great way of just writing on the mail, not at this address, and that will, most cases that makes it back to the person that mailed it. And they have some kind of system in place where if the person's not at that address, they stop sending it, or they send it again saying to current resident, in which you can Google some of those resources to stop from getting some of that junk mail.
Love it. Yeah, just imagine that. You check the mail, you only have 2 or 3 important documents, and you're not overwhelmed by clutter, by paper, by all of that stuff.
I'd love to just check the mail for checks, birthday
cards. I like cards.
Exactly. That's all I want in my mail.
Good stuff.
Envelopes coming in the mail, letter opener. I hope it's not the check again. Ain't no telling.
Okay.
Telling.
Okay, so 1, we're purging our files, right? We got that down.
Purge it, get rid of it.
Number 2, we're gonna go paperless, reduce all of that clutter. Number 3, we're gonna see about consolidating our finances, or making sure we're not missing any accounts that are being billed for on a monthly basis or annual basis, so we're not missing that. We want to get clear on that. So lastly, what we want to do, what we're here to do tonight, is to have a money date.
Yes.
Create that conversation around money. So if you're a couple, if you have a companion, sometimes there might be one of you who's actually managing the bills. You want to make sure you're having those conversations with your companion so that you guys are both on the same page, you're up to date, you're current on exactly where you're at with your finances. So you want to make sure you schedule a money date with your significant other. Maybe even having a money date with your kids, including your kids in that. It's a great way to create conversation around that.
You're right. This is a great task to get done with kids. I mean, it's sorting the mail. I mean, usually children probably as young as 5 or 6 can tell the difference between a Wells Fargo, envelope and a junk mail envelope. But that's a good way to start the conversation about money with your kids, and even opening the bills up so they see what they are. They see what the light bill is, what the gas bill is, the cable with that. And
maybe they'll turn off the lights every once in a while.
Maybe they will. Maybe they won't take 15-minute showers.
And regardless if you have a companion, if you have kids, or if it's you alone managing your finances, you want to find a way to continue that conversation around your money. Mm-hmm. So maybe if you're hanging out with the girlfriends or with the fellas, find a way to bring up finances so you get that accountability, so you can continue to stay accountable, continue to stay focused on your money, even including your parents. A lot of times we don't have these conversations with our parents, and as adults we continue not to have those conversations with our parents. So it's a great way to create that dialogue by having a money date, getting comfortable talking about your money. The more you talk about it, the more you're going to be focused on exactly that, is getting your money together.
Indeed. I couldn't agree more. Especially with the getting the children involved, getting parents involved. I talked to you earlier about the client she lost almost $250,000. She didn't know where it was until we found it, because of the lack of that interaction between the family when it came to the money and to the estate. One other thing that you did mention, you kind of harped on a little bit, but you said having someone to help hold you accountable. I mean, wouldn't it be a great money date? You grab a box of your mail, I grab a box of mine, and we get together, have some wine, and we sort together, and
Absolutely.
we talk about building.
Always another reason to get together for wine. Hello.
Wine. So instead of painting at your next wine, what do they call it, wine and sip?
I actually like those.
Says the paintings that are in our closet.
Okay, he's right. Okay, he's right. Get together, get the wine, get your statements, get your paperwork together. Continue to have those conversations, to continue to get more comfortable with talking about finances, making a regular dialogue with the people around you, the people that you love, so you are held accountable. And when we talk about our money date, again, we want to go back to that budget. So not only are we purging our files, we're going paperless, we're figuring out what accounts are missing, or any accounts that we're what am I trying to say? Neglecting. That we forgot about. We want to make sure that we're continuously revisiting that budget. So that's where the money date comes in, to getting clear on why we're doing all this. Why am I purging my my financial documents? Why am I filing? Why am I shredding? Why am I doing this? Because you want to be more clear on your financial goals. You want to be more clear on how to get there. And when you have less clutter in your physical space, you have less clutter in your mental space, and you can really get clear and focus on what it is that you want to create for yourself.
Well put. Wow, that was amazing.
Thanks. You want to close out?
That was amazing. Do I want to close? I guess I do want to close out. So with that, refill your glass. Kind of, we just went through some stuff. You might have drank a little faster than you were supposed to. So refill your glass, and let's raise a toast to money dates.
Money dates.
To purging.
Purging and getting your money right.
Getting your money right. Ooh, getting your money right. I'll drink for that.
Cheers.
So please, subscribe to us on YouTube. Share this with someone else. Share this with the person that you want to help hold accountable, or you want them to help hold you accountable into getting your money right. Follow us on Instagram at The Money Script. Check us out on Facebook at Your Money Script. Where else are we?
Money Script YouTube website is
Twitter at The Money Script. That's a great place to send us questions. At The Money Script on Twitter, send us questions. We'll start answering the questions live here. What else?
Yes, I'm excited for our next topic, because our next topic is managing debt.
Ooh.
Right? That's something we really get to talk about. We get to make that part of our daily conversation, so that we are just bringing awareness to our debt, and not necessarily being ashamed of it, but just having some conversations around it, putting together a plan of how we can manage that, how we can execute paying off debt, and putting a goal.
Imagine being debt-free in your lifetime. You didn't have to do it right now, but thank you. You did. I saw that. Imagine being debt-free. So stay tuned. Looking forward to seeing you on the next Money Date. Be sure to catch us live. We'll be popping up sometime in the next week or so on Instagram. So make sure you follow us again at The Money Script. And here's to you on your Money Date. Congratulations. You just dedicated, almost 20 minutes to your finances and organizing your finances. So according to Benjamin Franklin, you just got 20 hours back. Enjoy it.
Ballin'.